Hey guys, so in this lecture we will understand what are extension methods in C Sharp. Now if you are working with any predefined type in C Sharp and you need to add any custom method onto it, you need to understand what are extension methods in C Sharp. So we will see the problem what we have in C Sharp with the existing classes of C Sharp once we look into Visual Studio. So let's first quickly see the 2 points that I have mentioned for extension methods. So extension methods are methods which could be added to existing classes or types. Now if you're working with a custom class, then you can always add new methods as per requirement. Say suppose you have an employee class and you need any extra method onto that employee class, you can always add the same new method onto your employee class. But what if you are working with a string class, you need to add your custom method onto the string class. Now this string class belongs to .NET Framework strictly, and .NET Framework does not allow to make any changes to the string class. So let's quickly jump onto Visual Studio, and I have a string defined in here. India is my country. Say suppose I need a method which counts the word of this string. Okay, so I have 4 words in this string, so my method should return the number of words that are present in my string. So I should get a result of 4. Okay, so my first approach should be go to this string class where it's defined, and with all these methods that are those are defined inside this string class, I need to have another method defined in here. So what will happen if I try to change this string class? Nothing. Okay, because this string class is owned by .NET Framework, and .NET Framework does not allow you to change anything inside this string class. So how we will have the my custom count method that will count the words of my string? Okay, so the answer of this problem is extension methods. Okay, so let's go back to my slides first. So extension methods are widely used with LINQ queries, so I will come to this point later. So extension methods are a special kind of static methods of static classes. So if you need to define extension methods, so you need to have a custom static wrapper class defined for the string class, and then you need to implement your method as a static method. So we will be seeing this thing onto our demo. So let's jump onto our demo. So I need to define a wrapper class for this string class. Okay, so I will have public static class my extension class. Okay, so I have named this wrapper class as my extension class, and let me have the implementation, and then let me have a public static integer. So I will have the return type of my method as integer data type, so it will return the count of my string. So the name should be my counter, and here will come the implementation of this method. Now onto the parameters of this method, you need to pass this keyword. Okay, now this is the most important part of the defining of extension method, and this is also a very common interview question, that what is the syntax of defining a extension method. So I will have this keyword defined in here, and then I will pass the name of the class which I need to extend. So I need to extend this string class. Okay, so I will have string, and then I will pass a reference to this string class. Okay, so this S represents the reference of this string class, so I am extending this string class, and then I will have just return. So I will then implement this counter method. So I will say S dot split, and to this split function I will pass inverted comma. So this will have my string splitted according to these words. Okay, and then I will have the length of this string. Okay, so this will give the number of words those that are present in my string. Okay, so a very simple one line implementation just to make this concept very simple to you. Okay, now let's call this method and count the words onto my string. Okay, so let me have a variable in here, say count equals str dot, and you can see now my counter method is available for me to use, and you can see a arrow with me, and it says it's a extension method. Okay, you can see the bracket in here, it's a extension. Okay, so I have extended my string class. Okay, so I will have my counter called to this string class, to this str variable, and simply I will then print onto this console this count. Okay, and then I will say console dot read line. Okay, let's try to run this application. So let me run this, and you can see the count is 4. Okay, let me change this string, and I love it very much. Okay, let me run this again. The count should be 10. Okay, so my count is coming in here, so my extension method is working properly. And how I'm calling this as extension method, just like any normal method, and I have extended this string class. So this extension method is available with this string class. I have added a new method onto a class that belongs to .NET framework. Okay, so this is the concept of extension methods. So let's go back to our slides. So extension methods are special kind of static methods of static classes. So you can see my counter method is a static method and it belongs to a static class. Okay, so this static class acts as a wrapper around string class. Now to extend a class, we need to design a static class, and this keyword is used as a parameter followed by type that needs to be extended. So I am using this keyword followed by the type that needs to be extended. So this is the syntax of extension method, and you need to remember it because it's widely used in interview, that how you will define extension methods. Now let's come back to our third point. So our third point mentions that extension methods are widely used with LINQ queries. So why I have listed this point is because in future when I will record lectures of LINQ, so you need to understand what are extension methods. So the uh, methods which are used in LINQ such as select, where, etc. are basically extension methods. So they are implemented as extension methods. So I will be using this concept of extension methods with LINQ also. Okay, so let's go back to our Visual Studio and let's quickly jump in here. So let me have this str dot again, and you can see this long count, max, min, all these methods are defined as extension. Okay, so you can see of type, order by, all are extension methods. Okay, so why I'm getting these extension methods also with my str variable, that's because I'm using this using system.linq namespace. So my Visual Studio understand that I need to use LINQ, that's why I'm using this namespace in here. Let me comment out this namespace here, and now let's see what methods are available in here. Okay, you can see all the extension methods are gone. Only extension method that is present is my counter. Okay, that's because I have defined it in here with this class. Okay, so all those methods which were present before, like select, where, minimum, maximum, average, etc. are the extension methods which are implemented in LINQ queries. So if you use the namespace system.linq, you will have many extension methods present in the classes. The reason why these methods are present as extension methods, that's because .NET framework released all the versions and after that the LINQ was introduced on .NET 3.0, so they didn't change the whole framework for the release of LINQ. They implemented these methods such as select, where, etc. as extension methods. So this is a very simple example of extension methods. So they have basically not redesigned the classes, they have extended the classes. Okay, so I hope this is also clear to you. So let me go back to our slides, and here are the points for you to note it down. So thank you so much guys for listening. If you have any doubt, please leave a comment below, and please do subscribe to my channel, and I wish you a very happy Diwali. Thank you so very much.